Hello, my name is George, and this is my first ever YouTube video displaying my game collection. I have always watched YouTube for the game collecting channels. I'm very inspired by channels like Pete Dorr and Finn Gamer, TV and Lust, those kinds of things, Happy Console Gamer, and I wanted to join the conversation. I've always watched, like I said, and I feel like I've never really been part of the community and the conversation, so that's what this is for. I decided for my first video to take a look at the games I bought in December 2023 and show them to you. Just a quick here's what I got recently, and I'll talk about them. I don't know for how long, but here we go. I've got a big stack of games next to me here, and I'm just going to pull them up, and there'll be minimal editing. I just want to talk. What I really love in a video is when it's you're able to listen to it while you play a game or do some work or something, so that's how I'm going to keep these videos. The first ever game I will show you is, of course, Nintendogs on the DS. Now, I have played this before, and I didn't have it, my sister had it, but I played it. The reason I bought this is because it came in a lot, well, it's a very small lot, with made in Wario. Of course, you might notice that this is Japanese, and also this is Japanese. That's because we're in Japan right now. I've lived in Japan for 10 years, so most of these, 90% of these are Japanese. When I go back to the UK, I'll sometimes pick up a bunch of games. I remember one year going back and coming back with a whole suitcase of PS3 games, just for translation reasons. Although I can speak Japanese, I'd rather play games in English where I can. Anyway, Nintendogs. Now, what can I say about this? I'm not planning on playing this anytime soon, but maybe in the future my son will want to play this, and we've got it now, and it wasn't expensive. But my memories with this game, very good. The technology was the thing that blew me away. The fact that you have to use your voice and the dog remembers its name. You give it a name and you teach it commands. I remember you have to walk around a Japanese town, and you do the route, and along the way you want to hit the good spots. And I remember there was stuff like competitions, and you buy toys and you can upgrade the room. I remember upgrading the room was a huge endeavour. It was really expensive, like Animal Crossing's level of saving up and waiting and being patient. But I'm glad I've got it. I think we had the Golden Retriever one. I got the Chihuahua one. And as for this one, made in Wario, this is amazing. And this, of all of them, this is probably my favourite one, and that's why I bought this. It's just like the others, where you go through micro mini games, and they're 5 seconds long, and you're tasked with doing a random thing. But for example, there's one in this where there's a toilet roll, and you have to unroll it as fast as you can. And you do that with the stylus. It's all done with the stylus. There's some that are done by blowing into the mic though, but mostly stylus. And the reason why I think it's the best is because you get this very accurate and very unique feel when you're using the stylus to do these games that you couldn't do if it was on a screen like a smartphone. And they use the technology so well in this game, in ways that surprise you and make you laugh, and it's one that you can throw in and just play anytime. This and the GBA one, I think, are like that. So yeah, excited to play this again. Right, next is another handheld one. It's Pokemon LeafGreen. I just didn't own this one. I've played it a bunch. I've played it on emulators a lot, but I've also been meaning to pick it up and have it in my own collection. I'm only missing Pokemon Black or White 2 for Pokemon games that I need to have. Those two tend to be expensive. This one was quite expensive, considering, but yeah, just want to have. Sometimes I revisit Pokemon games, especially the old ones, considering the new ones are so easy, and with every release I'm getting more and more disappointed. Like Sword and Shield, first time I played it I felt I don't really like this, and then Scarlet and Violet, I didn't make it 3 hours before I was like, I gotta sell this. Gotta get my money back right now. Because it was just ugly and, you know, just not fun. Whereas this one, it's a remake of Red and Blue or Red and Green, and it's lovely. It's just very straightforward, and they've added all the advancements from Generation 3 Ruby and Sapphire into it. So things are smooth, and there's the bag is nice, and the Pokemon, they learn new moves that were only available in Generation 3. So it is really one of the best, and even though you're retracing your steps as you're going through the Kanto region again, it's still good, and it just plays really well. This and Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, those two, I don't know which is the best for revisiting Kanto, but something about Kanto, isn't it? It's just the original 151, they got it perfectly right there, and yeah, they're always fun to revisit. Next I have Zelda Musou, or Hyrule Warriors. I've owned this a couple of times, first on the Wii U and then on the Switch, but then I sold it because the thing about this game in Japan, I don't know about abroad, but it's always been expensive, and the prices never come down. And every now and again I look on Amazon or Mercari to see what the price is like, and it was creeping up and up, and I was seeing it for 7,000 yen going, which is about $70. And then one day it was on my list, and I saw it for about 5,000, so I thought, okay, I gotta get it now, because I don't think they're ever gonna re-release this, because for those of you who don't know, it's Koei Tecmo's take on Zelda. And what Koei Tecmo do is they make these games called Musou games. You might already know that, but Dynasty Warriors is kind of their big thing. It's just like that. Basically, you're super overpowered and the enemies are super weak, and it's not uncommon to end a level and you've defeated over 1,000 enemies just because they just go down so quickly. But it's really good. I like Dynasty Warriors, but when Koei Tecmo gets their hands on someone else's property, like Zelda, they do such a good job. It's like they're trying to show off to that company. So there's a Fire Emblem one, and there's a One Piece one, and the One Piece one, again, really good. It's just when they make their own games, when they make Dynasty Warriors or Samurai Warriors, they're just rote, you know. They're a known quantity. Not that they're terrible, but when they get their hands on someone else's property, that's when they really shine. And this has a sequel, which is set in the Breath of the Wild universe, but this one, it's way more contained, and I think the graphics are better. And it's just so fun to run around as, obviously you have Link, but you have a ton of Zelda characters, and even weird ones, like you got Agatha on the back here. I remember you also get Toon Link. They were not in the Wii U version. I think they were added as DLC, but like it's crazy how many characters you get, and they level up slightly each time you use them, and it's a long road. Like I remember looking at my game time, it's something like 60 hours. And although I've beaten the main story, there's this other mode where you go into old Zelda maps and go through each square, and I'm nowhere near making even a scratch on that one. So I'm glad I have this, and I won't be selling it again, because I don't think, like I said, I don't think they're going to make it again, and I don't think the price is going to come down, because it's very unique and very desirable for the fans of both Koei and Zelda. So I'm glad to have it again. Another Zelda game, not the one that came out this year, but Skyward Sword HD. At the same time I was thinking about buying the Musou game, this one was on my mind because although I've played it on the Wii, I got quite far into it, but I never finished it, and that's because this one is kind of like the black sheep of the Zelda franchise. It's a very weird one. The world feels very small, and on top of that, you're given this strange control system. Now on the Wii, it was the Wii Remote and the Wii Motion Plus, which is this little add-on that goes on. Although we had the boxed edition that came with a unique Wii Remote that had it built in, and it was gold and it had the Zelda symbol on it. But yeah, this control system, it's very weird. So you're able to swing. If you want to swing your sword up, you do that. You can go diagonal. You can stab. And the enemies are designed around that. So you've got these enemies with shields, and they're like, I'm blocking this way. And then you hit them this way. Now I'm blocking this way, and like that. And there's even, what are they called? The skeleton enemies. Where on the dungeon I'm on now, where they've got 3 swords. So they're like, I'm blocking here, here, and here. There's only one way you can hit me. And you've got to swing that way. So the Switch doesn't have control like the Wii Remote. The Wii Remote actually is, in terms of control and like gyro, it's ahead of the Joy-Cons for sure. And you're given two ways to control it. You can use it like this, or you can have the right stick be the sword. So you're mimicking the sword with the right stick. And the thing is tiny. And I'm playing in handheld, and if I want to swipe right, it always goes diagonal, or it goes down there. It's really hard, because you're holding the Switch, you've got to keep it straight, and you're thinking about it. And sometimes you're just like, I wish I just had a button. I just want to slash this guy, or like cut the grass, but I'm struggling with the controls. So even now, the controls are what holds this back. It's a pain, honestly. I wish it was simple. You know, I remember playing Twilight Princess with the Wii Remote and being like, yeah, this is good. I don't want to play this any other way, because all I'm doing is waggling. But this is like, no, it's accurate and it's serious. But at some point you're just like, I want to go back to the way things were. And anyway, what about the game? So far, I've been playing it over the Christmas holiday, in my holiday, and yeah, I like it. Now that I know, I'm more mature now, and I'm more patient, and I'm thinking, okay, let's just like the game for what it is, and yeah, it's okay. I still don't like the fact that there's 3 areas, basically, and you have to revisit them a bunch of times, and I don't think the story's very compelling, and but at its core, it's a Zelda game. When we first played this, it felt like, oh, this is Wind Waker but in the sky, but there's like nothing in the sky. There's an island with a bar. It's just this pumpkin island, and it's got a bar on it, and that's cool. But that's it. There's the other islands are just single islands with little treasure chest on it or something. So even that feels like, so there's this whole flying mechanic, and that's all you do is you go to get chests. It's definitely not anywhere near the top tier Zelda games for me. I do want to clear it though, because it bugs me that there's a Zelda game that I haven't cleared. Right now I'm in the desert part, but the part where you go to the desert and actually the desert was a sea, and you're riding a boat, and you ride a roller coaster. That was pretty fun, but yeah, it's, even though it's HD and really good, like 60 frames per second by the looks of it, it's still, you know, it's not all there. But you know, I'll finish it. Next we have a PlayStation 2 game. This is a Japanese exclusive. It's called Adventures of Tokyo Disney Sea. Tokyo Disney Sea is a theme park next to Disneyland, Sea in Tokyo. And instead of a castle, it's got a big volcano. That's its central point, and the park revolves around this volcano. And Tokyo Disney Sea's theme is nautical, adventure, and it's more grown up. You can drink alcohol there if you're an adult, although when you do, they look you straight in the eye and say, don't drink too much. So it's awkward, and it's expensive. Anyway, I love Disney, and I've had a year pass to Disney twice. I discovered this game exists, and it's made by Konami. It wasn't expensive, and by the looks of it, it looks like you walk around and you talk to people, and there's mini games. So I'm not expecting much of it. It reminds me of, there was a Disneyland game on Xbox 360, and then it came to PC. I think it's just called Disneyland. It was originally designed for the Kinect. and that's all you did. You just walked around. But it was cool because the way the park was mapped was exactly the same, and even though you couldn't really do much, it was cool just to look. Yeah, anyway, not much to say because I haven't played it, but looking forward to it. Here's two games that kind of go together. Is SSX, which the Japanese box art is lovely, and SSX Tricky. So I bought these together, and yeah, I really like these games, especially the SSX3. I've played that so many times, but these two are the predecessors to it, 1 and 2. And I've played Tricky a lot, but I haven't actually played SSX. Although I might have, but I have no memory of it. These games are just bygone era games, very PlayStation 2. It's EA Big, right? Or EA Sports Big, which is this extreme sport label that they had. You know, I love the music in these games. They're very nostalgic to me. I like racing down a mountain, and it's not realistic, it's very arcadey. And that's what we like, so happy to have these. The next present was a Christmas present from Santa, and I'm not actually that far because I'm playing Zelda, but Super Mario Bros. Wonder. I'm kind of late to this one, but Santa was able to deliver it, and I played it for about 2 hours maybe, and it's amazing, just like everyone said. And it, man, I get this thing when there's a really good game that I really like where I don't want to play it because I don't want it to end, which is something I have to get over. I have to just play what I want to play from now on. But it's a 2D Mario, and it's maybe the best 2D Mario if you look at it like from a technical level. Maybe it doesn't have any nostalgia, obviously, but it's so good. And basically, in every level you get a Wonder Flower appears, and every time you pick it up, something happens, and that something is different every time. So you might pick it up, and the level geometry changes. The very first one, I think the pipes turn into like caterpillars, and the level revolves around that, and you have to deal with it there because the level's proceeding without you, kind of thing. There's one where a stampede happens of bulls, and that was really fun. And then the one that I actually had to replay, I replayed the level, I played it 3 times over because I loved it so much, is you activate the Wonder Flower and the piranha plants start singing and they sing this whole number, and they're at the front of the screen like this, and some of them come down from there, and there's just ones walking along. And the bit that made me laugh is when the song starts, you've got this like graphic that comes up that says the song title which just it's really silly and surprising. And yeah, obviously even though I've only played a little bit, I'm really in love with this game and really want to get around to it after I beat Zelda. Next is a PS1 game. This is a game I've played before, and I got it because it was cheap, and now I want to play it again. Is Theme Park. Now, I used to rent this game, I remember. I rented it a few times, every now and again. And even though I was really young and I couldn't manage money in that game, I used to just love putting down the paths, putting down shops and rides. I don't think I even got to the point where you get it roller coaster, because yeah, I was young. I was just it's a theme park management game, but you also have to manage money and prices and that kind of thing. And as a kid, I didn't know about that, and I wasn't interested. I was just putting down rides. So when I revisit this, I'll hope to try and make a profit in my park. It's really fun. I love Roller Coaster Tycoon and Planet Coaster, and especially Theme Park World on the PlayStation 2. Also on the PC, but that PlayStation 2 version, man, I played so much. I even had it on PlayStation 1 and then later upgraded to PlayStation 2. It's the same game, but better graphics. But yeah, really, really fun park management game. I have Shin Sangoku Musou 5 here, which is actually Dynasty Warriors 6. Basically, in Japan, when Shin Sangoku Musou 2 came out, it just became 1. That's because the original Dynasty Warriors is this fighting game, just like Tekken, or I don't know if it's 3D or 2D plane, but it's that. And then the next one abroad was just called Dynasty Warriors 2, where here they just rebooted it and they added the Shin to the start of it, which means new, and they've never dropped it. This is an early PlayStation 3 game. I remember it being simple, and just like I was into Zelda Musou, I was playing Dynasty Warriors 5 and thought, I've played this so many times, I want to play one I haven't played so much. They are really cheap in Japan. You can't give these away, basically. Every lot I look on online, there's always like 4 copies of Dynasty Warriors 3. I don't know how people get more than 1 copy of that game, but it's so cheap, and I'm lucky that I like them. So I don't know if I'll be playing this soon, but I'm happy to have it. Okay, there's a couple of non-gaming related things that I got that I'd like to show. The first is Super Mario Wonder came with this little tote bag. It's kind of neat. I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but there you go. Also, at Christmas I went to see a musical in the central Tokyo, and it's a Broadway thing. They come over every year, and these Broadway singers sing Christmas songs. And it's a very busy part of town. And we went to a department store, and there was this little tiny pop-up Dragon Quest store. So I went in there, and surprisingly everything was really reasonably priced. And there were some really good t-shirts there. So I got me a t-shirt of Goldman, which sparkles like this. And I just thought it was the coolest thing. And on the back, I only noticed this when I wore it for the first time. It's a little message which basically says that you got 650 gold for beating Goldman. And then finally, what I got here is such a beautiful thing. I'm so happy to have this. It's the Ico and Shadow of the Colossus collection on the PlayStation 3. This thing, it's amazing, and you know, it's one of those I'm lucky to be in Japan things. It comes with an art book, and also it's kind of it's got the developer's thoughts and inspirations in it, and the 2 games, which come in their own PS3 cases, which, I don't know, I still get weirded out when I see that with the big PS3 logo. For me, this is PS2, and also this, it just doesn't, it looks a bit, you know, like, I'm not used to seeing that, but lovely, honestly. The art book is really cool, and one of the cool things about it is this page here, where they've got a shelf of inspiring things which has manga in it, and some anime and games and stuff. And some of the games that they find inspiring are surprising. Like, they've got Katamari Damacy, but also Half-Life 2 on the original Xbox. That's not even the best version of that, but it's cool that they played it, especially on Xbox. In Japan, Xbox is not prevalent at all. They've also got Oddworld, which is cool, and Burnout 3. I don't know if this is inspiring to them, but Burnout 3 is awesome. Anyway, that's it. That's all the games that I bought in December 2023. If you've made it to the end, thank you and well done. This is a brand new channel, so good job taking a risk. I'm going to keep on doing this, hopefully. I don't know if I'll have as much games in January to talk this much, because I plan on buying a system, and that takes up a large part of my budget for buying games. But we'll see. Maybe I'll do January, February if it's not enough. But anyway, thank you.